welcome back to the rest of the story. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Well, it's been a long day. I gotta do this video quick before on a sunlight. You leaving? Alright. I don't know. Just keep your phone on you so I know when to... Oh, whatever. Well, we got everything out of the machine shed. Things are improving as far as the ground conditions. Blue sky, sunny. It's kind of like an ideal fall day. Well, I did mention a video or two ago, might be even longer than that. The combine was actually down for maintenance, and it was a bit of a bear. All it was, you can see this nice shiny new piece of paint. This boot here that comes down to the bottom of the clean grain auger up to the elevator. This goes up to the grain tank. What happened is, if anybody remembers our old one at all, maybe in some of our older videos, there was a worn out slot right here. We had to replace the piece of steel, and I actually went through and siliconed part of it because the steel on this was literally so light that we could not weld it. Like, I was trying to braze it, and just literally just touching it with the flame, it was melting. So there really wasn't a whole lot there to save. The reason this was a bit of a bear is because we didn't get the right part. I know, them darn John Deere parts guys, right? Well, I'm not going to get into details because it was a little bit of a situation, but it really wasn't anybody's fault. It was actually the wrong part was because of some right numbers. So you guys can take that in any which way you want. But we got the right boot on. This resulted in a lot of swearing. The boot here really wasn't all that bad to put back on. This piece wasn't bad. The problem we had was up underneath, we had to take this auger out that runs across here to put this back on. And the problem we had was getting that auger back in. Now, whoever designed this didn't design it for ease of maintenance. Well, go right once again, Deere engineers. Don't get me wrong, I love my John Deere paint. You know, I like overpaying for stuff. But what we ended up having to do to get the right, or just enough clearance to get the shaft back through here. You know, granted, all this wasn't on here yet. It was just the shaft, and there is a little bit of spring tension on it. This sprocket right here is what gave us all the trouble, because we couldn't get the sprocket back on with the auger in there. That's what we originally did. Hey, we got it back in. Awesome. Let's get to work. Well, after we got it in, we couldn't maneuver it properly or enough. We couldn't get it back that way to where we could get that sprocket back on. So we deduced that we had to go through and have it on when we put the auger back in. With the combination of a couple pipe wrenches, one pipe wrench, 2 pry bars, we went and managed to get it up in, and then we actually had to take the pipe wrenches and turn the auger in, and the flighting actually helped pull it in properly. But it actually took 2 of us down underneath, and the problem we had was this right here. This little bitty piece of steel right there, that's the amount of clearance I'm talking about that we were catching on, where I did not want to clear up here. That was awfully miserable. I don't want to have to do that again anytime soon. That's the first time we've ever had to replace that part since we've had this combine, and it's probably going to last us as long as we'll have it. So it really is a nice night out. The combine, hopefully you guys will be starting to see some more combining videos coming up here. Alicia's leaving. What's up? Everybody's leaving. Conditions are good. Guys are showing corn. You're probably going to see a transferring video on that bin, because that's what I was currently doing. before I started this video. I got a bunch of gravel moved around. And we're going to attempt to set that auger up to the souk up, so we can transfer from the souk to the souk up, and just with the use of the one auger, and hopefully we can maneuver it just right. It looks like it'll work, but until we try it, I'm not sure yet. Maybe we can get a little creative with it and see what we come up with. We'll have to see. Anybody can see it hiding back behind the Brent grain cart. The 4640 is out of hiding. We got it hooked up to the grain cart today. I do have to go through and make sure that we have a bolt for the grain auger arm. I've said it in the past, and any of my new subscribers, any of my new viewers, and anybody that doesn't quite remember that, the arm on that is it an Easy Trail or Easy Flow? I remember the name of that cart. It was painted before we got it, but the mechanism that raises and lowers it is not sturdy enough to keep the auger from vibrating when you're running it. So what happens is, mainly in soybeans, not so much in corn, but it has happened in corn. What happens is you start getting grain running through it, and it'll start with a slight vibration. It'll just so subtly, but if you don't catch it when it starts doing that, what happens is that it'll really start to jump, and it'll actually pop off of that locking mechanism where the augers mesh. So the upper auger quits moving while the lower auger is still running, and what it does is it jams everything up. It doesn't really hurt anything other than a little bit of grain you may lose when you have to drop the auger back down, clean it out, because you gotta get all the grain out of it so it doesn't run back down and mess with the face of the auger when it's raised back up. And try it again. Well, there are holes there, I imagine, for that exact reason. We actually just put a bolt down through it and finger tight it. Well, if we're gonna run all day with it, that's one thing, but I've actually gotten away with just putting a bolt in and just finger tightening it, and that fixes the problem. But it's an annoying problem because we have to keep doing it. We've gone through, we've revamped it, we've built it up stronger, but it still was an issue. And it seems how when it comes time to work and you're trying to combine and get the semi loaded as fast as you can, that is really aggravating when you're trying to get a semi loaded and get them out of here so we can get back as soon as possible, because you're trying to be as efficient as you can and get the semi back here as soon as possible so you can get as much harvested in a day as you want. And having to lose time because that auger messed up on you, it gets really sickening. So just bolting it up for the day, it's worth the little bit of hassle. Ideally, get rid of that green cart, put the red cart on the 4640, and then get a bigger grain cart to put on the 8235R. What size, what manufacturer, I really don't know. Just for window shopping purposes, there is no video on this, by the way, but I was online looking around, just kind of bumming, and I did find, I'm not going to buy it, I'm just window shopping, seeing what's out there. There was a nice 1100 bushel, is it a Kill Brothers? That sounds right. Out in Indiana for about $24,000. It's a 2010 model. It looks really good. The flighting on the lower end was chewed up a little bit. Not really sure what caused that. Now, when I say the lower end, I mean the bottom, like 2 inches of flighting was just kind of, I don't know, it looks like somebody hit it with a hammer. So I don't know if something bound in there or what. But for being 8 years old, it really didn't look like it was in that bad a condition. The paint didn't seem faded. Granted, pictures are really good at deceiving any discrepancies that are there, so it's hard to say. But a bigger grain cart is definitely on my mind. Semi would be nice. If I had to choose between one or the other, I would go with the bigger grain cart, for the simple fact that if we had a bigger grain cart, 1100 bushel would be enough for one person to run the tractor in the cart, and a third person, or assuming that all three of us are here, the third person could be either running tillage or doing something else that needs to be done, because in the fall, especially when you get nice days like this out, there's plenty to do, and nice days like this really haven't been coming in abundance. This is probably, I don't know if I really want to go ahead and say that this has really been the first nice day in October, like really nice day. And the only reason it's nice out that I'll say that it is, the sky did clear up. It was kind of cloudy earlier, and the wind was whipping around really bad earlier this morning. So hopefully the wind isn't going to be too much of an issue again tomorrow. So, all right, we did pull a bunch of grain out. I'm probably going to add that on to the end of this video because I don't really know where else I would add it. It was just some random footage of us filling the silo. So anybody that's still watching, take care, take it easy, keep in touch, and stay tuned for the following video.
Well, I guess I lied. I have 2 more videos to show you guys after that previous initial video. This was a very busy day. We were pretty much everywhere in this particular video. I mean, all these videos are from one day, and I got these 2 videos that are only a couple minutes long, and I want to do something with them because I don't post 2 to 3 minute long videos. It's just not something I like to do anymore. So everybody can see that I am practicing ear health, ear safety. Not really the best way to put them on over my stocking hat, but it pressed the hat on and everything. I really couldn't hear much. It was keeping my ears protected, and that's what I was looking for. So, firing up the 4020. We didn't take hardly anything to get this all hooked up. Started the PTO off, made sure everything was clear and out of the way. Ran the tractor up to about 1500 RPMs. That's all it really takes to send corn up the silo like that. I did turn on the little auger I have there. That was a very nice simple purchase. For 600 bucks, that thing saves us so much work. Now, I'm only going to run this because people are probably going to notice I can run this a lot faster than what I do. The reason for that is that where that sweep auger is, or jump auger, is dumping it into the blower, there's a shaker pan, and there's gaps on the shaker pan on the left and the right, and if it overflows, it actually overflows towards the front to the right of the screen there where it's dumping it, and you'll get a nice big pile of corn underneath the blower. And seems how we only put 2 loads of corn in the silo for at least the time being. You can see the corn dropping in there. I really didn't want to make a huge mess, and we weren't in any big rush, so I just kind of let it take its time and run in, because we can actually dump this whole wagon through in under 10 minutes. Well, probably more like 5. You can put corn up the silo a whole lot faster than you can up the grain auger. So this is something that had to be done because we need the feed for all the cattle. We have probably just under, well, probably by December, we're probably going to have over double the amount of cattle on the farm that we did last year by the time you add up all the Holsteins. So we're just being a little bit proactive and getting some more grain in the silo. So stay tuned for the last part of this video, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Come on, guys. These guys have been out here for a little while now. When I say a little while, they've been out here for 3 days. Well, you can tell in the tone of their voices, they're really not all that impressed with us just yet. The big thing that we're doing right now, or that I'm currently doing, is just making sure everybody gets off their butts, gets them out of this nice, clean, warm bed pack, and just making sure that everybody knows that the grain is out there. Come on, bud. That they know to go to the bunk. Now, the first 2 days, we only had about, oh, at the most, I think we had 4 on the bunk at any one time. But they are finally now starting to realize that the gator means dinner. Except for a couple guys that are kind of struggling a little bit. Well, not necessarily struggling, just being stubborn. So we're gonna keep these guys out here for the foreseeable future, mainly until the first half of next year. They have clean water. They are getting, right now, 2 buckets of grain. Combination, it's rolled corn and 34B calf feed. And really the big thing, oh, they are getting, you know, hay too. That is first crop. But the big thing is just making sure everybody's healthy. Nobody's, like right now when everybody's back over there, you don't have somebody that's laying up in a corner with a sick stomach, because that's what Holsteins like to do. Holsteins are not like beef calves. They are not. Holsteins have a nasty tendency to, should I say, give up the ghost. So much easier than beef. They don't have a very strong will to live. It really just seems like that. So Holsteins require a bit more attention. You can see they are kind of thinned out a little bit. You would be too if somebody put a band on your balls. They are officially castrated, well, for the most part. We went through, they got tagged and everything the other day, dehorned, vaccinated, and these guys, we won't have to do much to them until probably about January, February. We'll give them a booster, so they can just kind of enjoy life out in the sunshine.